Hey, what's up? What's up, Facebook peeps? My name is Dr.Nima Rahmany. How are you doing? I'm Nima, as my friends call me, as my patients call me. I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about purpose because I'm getting all these questions, and probably 100% of the time, a client comes to me who's been sick, stressed, and stuck, and they feel like they're disconnected from their purpose. And by the end of this little webcast, you're going to have a clear understanding of how to move towards that and what to do. And first of all, let me know where you're tuning in from and where you're signing in from and who you are. Give me a shout out so I can give you a shout out here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Nima Rahmany. I've been a chiropractor for the past 15, 16 years. And I have now transitioned, sold my practice because I love teaching people about stress and mind, body, health, and healing. And I've discovered a methodology that helps you uncover the underlying root cause of stress, the past traumas and resentments, clear it so that you can get connected to the higher version of yourself and be powerfully aligned and on purpose. And it seems like every single patient of mine who came to me with stress-related disorders was suffering with the same thing, which is a disconnection from their higher version, from their purpose, because we all have this desire inherently to live according to this cause that's greater than us. It's something inherent within all of us. We all have this deep desire to connect to that. And when we're disconnected from that, life sucks. It friggin' sucks. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? When you're disconnected from your purpose, when you don't have it right, you have this chronic state of anxiety. You have this chronic existential questioning. Why am I here? What the heck's the purpose of it all? There is no meaning to day-to-day interactions, waking up in the morning, getting on Facebook. When you don't have this right, you start to worry constantly about getting approval from other people, and you constantly are fearful of being rejected, fearful of the impact on other people's perceptions of you. When you're disconnected from your purpose, depression is very, very common. In fact, I'm going to go be so bold and disruptive as to say that I don't believe in depression. I just believe in a disconnection from a conscious state of purpose. And the cure for depression is a creation of meaning, who was the guy that wrote so Viktor Frankl, as my buddy Viktor Frankl, the author Viktor Frankl would say that it is really, the quest for meaning and purpose is the answer, is the solution. He calls it logotherapy, which is the therapy that he created and invented, which was all about creating meaning. So taking whatever you're struggling with and creating meaning out of it. In other words, inherently as human beings, we have this deep desire, we have this deep search, we have this deep quest that we want to have some meaning towards our lives, because without it, life is pretty empty and meaningless. And without assigning or connecting with a cause or a purpose that's greater than our current selves, then we feel anxiety, depression, we feel disconnection from other people. We want to run, we want to hide, we want to start to isolate ourselves. And so if you find yourself isolating yourself, if you find yourself scrolling through Facebook, comparing yourself to other people, posting things for really the need for approval, and I know what that's like. I mean, we all have it to a certain degree. I'd be lying if I said that I was completely like different than most human beings, which we all want to look good and we want to be right. I mean, we all have it to a certain degree, but when we're disconnected from purpose, it consumes us, this desire to look good and be right. So the first thing that I want to tell you to help you, the goal of my post is to help you connect, to help move you in the direction of actually connecting with your purpose. And the first way you do it is by dissolving this little fantasy of walking down the street and or going to an ashram in some secluded place and then just being struck from the outside, in, the direction, the vector going from the outside in, and then being imbued or infused or injected with this purpose, so that now you can just follow this path of this existence where you're going to be helping so many people, and you're going to be able to travel the world, and you're going to be able to transform people. And this is the fantasy that most people have in their lives. And I want to share with you that although my purpose is to help healing and to help and be a stand in the healing and transformation of other human beings, and to connect deeper and then travel the world, those are all parts of my highest values, which I've been able to powerfully align my life with. That's not necessarily what purpose is. Purpose basically is not something that comes from the outside in. It's not something that magically gets hit. It comes from this stirring on the inside, based on a conscious application of your values. And what do I mean by values? I mean the things that are most priority to you. And by that, I don't mean honesty, integrity, truthfulness, all of these virtues that we try to ascribe to and subscribe to as idealisms. I'm talking actually about things that are most priority and meaningful to you. Things for me like mindset. Things for me like business. Things for me like connection, family. These are values for me. Things for me like traveling. So these are most meaningful to me. And so if I take the top 2 or 3 to 5 things on my list of values, then my purpose is best served by living according to those things. And the cool part about that is that when you know what your values are, when you know what's most meaningful to you, and by the way, I can tell what's most meaningful to you just by going on your Facebook profile. All of the posts that you do, whatever subject that you're constantly talking about, posting about, the pictures on your profile are a dead giveaway of what your values are. So by looking at those things, and by consciously applying those things to your daily schedule, you are then feeling like you have more spring in your step, more meaning, more energy. You're tapped into something greater than you. And most people who are sick, stuck, stressed, or when they retire and they fall into a depression, or when you reach a goal and then you become depressed, or when the gold medalists will share that that's something that they, experience after they win the gold medal. All of a sudden you have a loss of purpose. You then suffer and go down on a downward spiral because you have lost that climb, that thing, that purpose, that mission. Because a goal, when you set it, you achieve it as a target. It's something that you work to. But a mission or a purpose is something you work through. It's something that's never really complete. So when you have it right, all of a sudden life takes on a whole new meaning. You wake up in the morning and you have a spring in your step. You know exactly what you are here to do. It's easy for you to set targets because you set them and they're congruent with who you actually are. And if you look in your life, there were times where you're connected to a cause or a purpose. You have your sparkle. When you have lost that purpose, or when you achieved it and then you could be going through a transition right now and going through what I call transitional anxiety, where you're going through a breakup or a career change, or you're thinking of making a move and you might feel like you're drifting. That's one of the symptoms of being disconnected from your purpose, is a feeling like you're drifting. But what you do is you'll have a tendency to start asking other people around you what you should be doing. And everyone's going to say, oh, you know what? You should be doing this. Another person says, well, you should be doing that. But what other people are doing, especially your social structure, are infusing and projecting their agenda onto you. And it's purely out of love. It's purely out of love. There's no malicious intent, even though when you're confused, you could perceive and interpret it that way. But the answer is actually to then get quiet and silent and just ask yourself. This is what I did. I went through a period of time where I felt like I was completely disconnected. And it took me to ask somebody, a mentor. The answer is to find a mentor, somebody who isn't in your social structure, somebody who has the highest version of you in mind, to then help you ask the right questions, to find out what's most meaningful to you, the highest values. So for me, it was healing, transformation, personal development, business, physical health, travel. And so once I discovered or rediscovered what my true values were, then I could create a mission and a purpose statement around those values. And here, my friends, number one, after getting mentorship, getting help from the outside, which is critical because using your own feelings as guides without any type of help on the outside can be a little confusing. Getting that kind of mentorship and help is critical, because then what ends up happening is you then get quiet, you ask the right questions, and then here's the key component: somebody to hold you accountable to taking action. The worst mistake you can do, the fatal flaw, is waiting for this inspiration to come from the outside and then take action. Because by identifying your values and then taking a step forward, you gather information. Because the day doesn't happen when you're just boom, it just comes to you. It happens through years and years of taking action. Taking action, because you take action, you get the results and the feedback. This worked, this didn't work. Okay, here's my next action step. And in so doing, as long as those action steps are in accordance with your values, you're feeling this sense of fulfillment, like you're moving forward. It's actually an incredible feeling. Okay? And you get this action, you get feedback from the environment, which is critical. And then what ends up happening is you now can get that feedback and then take the next action step. And then the next action step, and then the next action step. So when I was 21 years old, I saw a man named John DeMartini who completely awoke this little voice inside that says, I want to inspire people, and I want to travel, and I want to use the written word and the spoken word to be able to help transform lives. And I was in chiropractic school at the time. And I knew that that was part of my purpose. But then the action steps that I took were completing chiropractic school, completing a level of modicum of success with my chiropractic practice, and traveling and taking workshops and hiring mentors. And in so doing consistently, which I still do today, I have several coaches and a team of coaches that are constantly working with me with mindset, with business, with personal growth. Now I've reached a state where I'm absolutely certain of my purpose. I am a stand for healing and transformation, where healing and transformation wasn't possible before. And it is absolutely fulfilling to me to put things into my schedule which are consistent with helping people connect to their purpose and help transform the past stories of victimhood into powerfully aligned and on purpose. So it's actually part of my purpose to help people connect with their purpose, which ironically, your mess becomes your message, and the thing that you had the most trouble with becomes what you specialize in, and you teach what you most want to learn. So consider that your purpose is just an action step and feedback mechanism away, and a powerful mentor to help you get there away. Because if you don't know what your purpose is right now, consider that's a lie. Consider if you don't know what your purpose is, there are blocks stopping you from seeing what the truth is. And those blocks are guilt, resentment, and regret, and fear of what the hell other people are going to think of you. So it's going to take a powerful mentor for you to help you. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Brother, sister, you can't do this alone. So your first step is to identify what your values are. If you don't know them, find a mentor to help you uncover them. There's many books out there. If you want to shortcut the process, get yourself a mentor. If this is something that actually is interesting to you to explore, I'm going to invite you to follow the link that you see on the screen and fill out what's stopping you, what's going on, what were the challenges. Give me a little bit more information and schedule a time. I do a free breakthrough coaching consult for people who are interested in finding what their purpose is and clearing all the past shit that's blocking them from seeing what that is, and tossing aside all excuses preventing them from taking action. Because hiring the right coach makes the difference, because it's really about holding you accountable to the commitments you're making, to making sure that that purpose that you have is going to involve you becoming something greater than you currently are. So who you are at this moment, consider, might not be able to be connected to that purpose because you care too much about what other people think, because you're holding on to guilt, because you're holding on to resentment and victimhood about what happened in your past, and it's blocking you and you're sedating yourself. Chances are, if you're not connected to a purpose, you are sedating yourself. You're sedating yourself because of the pain to compensate for the disappointment and the pain of not living a life that's truly meaningful to you. It's possible, and it can happen fast. My clients, one of them, Ryan, I can remember, he called me. He's a chiropractor. He goes, I feel like I'm disconnected to my purpose. Turns out he wasn't. He knew exactly what his purpose was. He's holding on to guilt and resentment. We cleared those. He's powerfully aligned back into his purpose. His practice has gone through the roof, and he's gone through some major challenges in his life, but being tethered to a purpose and a cause greater than him has allowed him to be able to dance through it with power and freedom and full self-expression. So I am here to share with you the promise that you do have a purpose, and that you want to remove the lie that I don't know what this purpose is. Start shifting that affirmation that my purpose is here, and I am committed to connecting to it and serving it. Because we only get one stab at this life, and we are not going to live forever, and we're going to die soon, someday. And it'd be a shame if you lived in fear of your light because you didn't take the steps necessary to find the right help to be able to connect you to your purpose. Hopefully that's been of use to you. Do you have any questions? I don't know where you're tuning in from, where you're signing from. If you are any questions right now, if I resonated with you, let me know. Share, hit the share button and tag somebody. Actually, I'd like for you to tag somebody who really needed to hear this message. And I'm going to get you to join the Facebook group if you haven't already. I'm going to write it out here. The Art of Powerful Alignment. Go ahead and search the Art of Powerful Alignment and join the Facebook group and continue this conversation, because I post regularly live feeds, daily trainings every couple days on connecting to your purpose, clearing resentment, living your most badass self. M. Wilson. Yeah. What's up, girl? I know, Amanda, she's really enticing you to find your purpose. M. Wilson, that's a lie that you don't know what your purpose is. You know exactly what it is. You just have, if you look at your Facebook posts, you know exactly what your purpose is. Consider that the resentment that you're holding on to by somebody in your recent past is blocking you from accessing that power, and it's accessible to you if you have the right guide, the right mentor. And if you would love to be a mentor, then it's high time for you to actually connect and get mentored so that you can actually get there. So join the Art of Powerful Alignment Facebook group. If you are interested in actually exploring this to get powerfully aligned with your purpose and see if you're a fit for my mastermind group, because this is exactly what I help people with, just go to bepowerfullyaligned.com/apply. Let's have a conversation. Doesn't necessarily mean you're ready, but it's wise for us to at least have the conversation. 2 out of 5 people are actually ready to jump in and get powerfully aligned, and then kind of get reconnected with themselves to expand their social network, expand their net worth, expand their health and their power and their freedom. If that's you, reach out and I'd be happy to chat with you. We have a live event coming up, a live training coming up in Vancouver. Send me a private message to apply for that. We have 50% sold out, and it is going to be incredible. People who are anxious, they are distressed, find their power and their passion, and that includes me. Absolutely, James. There are people that come to these workshops. Who is it for? People who feel that they're stuck. People who feel that they are kind of drifting. They're disconnected from themselves, and they're noticing that their worlds are closing in. Anxiety and depression are taking over, and they would love to be the kind of person that will expand into their greater version. Guaranteed, you leave that weekend and you are completely transformed. There have been people who've come and they leave completely shifted, and it is hugely my highest value to be able to share that with people. So I encourage you, send me a private message, join the Art of Powerful Alignment Facebook group. And if you are ready to find your purpose and you're ready to start feeling better and being powerful again, follow that link, bepowerfullyaligned.com/apply, and I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. Until the next perfect time, I look forward to sharing and crossing paths with you. God bless, and send me a private message if you have any questions. Peace out.